saying that just do it. Just get up here and give a speech, right? That's kind of my motto today. Well, fellow Toastmasters and guests, really great to see you today. Haven't seen you in a few weeks, and I know everybody's busy. Lots of weather going on, not as much flooding, certainly, but lots of drought going on. So, good to see you, and thanks. I have a question for you, is how many of you have thought about yourself as a leader? Let's see some hands. Okay, I have a second question. How many of you are supervisors and actually formally supervise people? Is it about the same hands? Well, I'm going to talk about my personal leadership philosophy today. And it's excuse me, I have had a cold, and I have my water right here just in case. It's important because if you lead people formally, which supervisors do, or informally, there's lots of leaders that don't supervise people. And that's one of the things that we do here in Toastmasters is really understand that we are leaders in our organizations, even though we may not have a formal role. I'm going to tell you about my leadership philosophy. There's 5 things. And the first one is setting the example. I believe in setting the example for my employees and the people in my program and the people I work with. And you could say that those are all the things that you learned in kindergarten, or all the things that you should have learned, right? To be nice, be honest, trustworthy, hardworking. There's all these things that I expect of my people and people around me that I have to do. I have to show up to work on time and be engaged. And so this is why I make sure I am setting the example for them. And that's one of my first leadership philosophies, because I can't ask them to do it if I don't do it. The next thing that I believe in, which is really important for leaders, is to build the team and set a vision for your folks, because they cannot know where to go if there isn't one person telling them where to go, showing them, creating the vision so that everyone's on the same boat. Otherwise, you may have someone over here going rogue and another person having a different idea, and you may not all meet up back in the middle. The leader has to do that. Setting the vision and communicating that, because you can't just keep it to yourself. You have to be able to communicate that vision to folks. The next thing, the third point, is being adaptable and being able to foster change. That's one of the big things, and I struggle with that every day. I think, okay, how am I getting stuck in my old routines? I'm doing this the way I've always done it, and I need to be creative and thinking if there's a different way. One of the ways that I like to do it, and it's been done over hundreds of years, and Abraham Lincoln talked about this, is building a team of rivals, people that may disagree with you. I have my favorite people to call on the phone that I say, let me run this by you, and usually they disagree with me every time. And it annoys me, but it's, most of the time it annoys me, but after I sleep on it, I recognize that it is important and it's a good idea. They have good ideas, and I need to really embrace that. I also consider myself a little linear, and I have my creative team, and they're just folks that I go to that are more creative, I consider, than I am, and I lean on them a lot for creativity and different ideas as well. Okay, the fourth thing that I do that I really believe in, my personal leadership philosophy, is empowering my people to act. And this has been a transition of mine over the last few years, because I used to be a doer and kind of a perfectionist, and if I didn't do it, it really wasn't done right, and I'll just admit that. And I've changed. I've realized I can't do it all. It's going to send me into nervous breakdown. That's not what leadership is about. And leadership is about, and it's not really delegating, it's about empowering, how can I help you to do your job so you contribute to the team? Empowering people to get training and to take on responsibility and mentor folks to learn new things. There's no other way around it, and it's so important. And I like to think of it as distributed leadership too, because they're leaders as well. It's just that there has to be one leader setting the direction, and then they are leaders within the team. So that's really important. The fifth thing that I really think is very important, personally, my leadership philosophy, is paying attention to the human factor. And it kind of goes with the number one of setting the example, but it's really its own thing, because people are people. You're leading people, not computers or cement trucks or drawings. I mean, you have to really understand that people have lives. There are things going on. Again, the last few years, I really have come to a major transformation in the last couple of years. And I've learned compassion for people that, I realize homework, it's life, and it kind of comes in and out, and you've got to be able to be compassionate and understanding, and then the trustworthy, building trust. That's really all about your relationship with them, and honesty back and forth. So that's really quite an important one for me. And now, when I have people decisions, I really take a pause and think, okay, my gut reaction is to get mad or react or judge them. Take a pause and say, what's going on here? I need to really pay attention to them and prioritize that, honestly. So those are my five personal leadership philosophies. It's setting the example, building the team, being adaptable and flexible, ready to change, empowering my people to act, and paying attention to the human factor. And I just need to say, it's really important, if you haven't thought about that, think about it. What is it in you that you believe in to be a good leader? And as you go through life, maybe it's leading your family, your kids, or Boy Scouts, or girls volleyball. What is it that you believe in, and it will help keep you grounded through your actions and what you project upon the people in which you lead? And also, it's really important, I believe, and here we are in Toastmasters. There's one track is speaking, which is the reason I'm here. The other track is the leadership track, and that's extremely important. You can't just be a good speaker through your career and your life and not really have the leadership skills as well. Thank you very much.